This video is called What is a Venture Attractor? A venture attractor is a new concept designed to help companies around the world scale and find an ecosystem that is appropriate for their industry. So a venture attractor is unique in that it focuses on what we call an industry cluster. And an industry cluster is broadly defined as a group of companies that sort of represent not necessarily competitors, but they're all playing in the same industry space. And therefore, if they are able to connect in a cluster, they're able to enjoy some of the benefits of the learnings that each of them do. They enjoy the benefits of having potentially a common labor pool that can then, of course, have some flexibility and some mobility to go from company to company as individuals scale in their individual talents and so on. But more than anything, it has the effect of what we call knowledge spillovers. And companies in the same industry category, whether they're competitors or whether they're just simply complementary in some way, can learn from one another things that each of them have been learning independently about this space, about the customers, about the industry, about how to different types of strategies in the industry, different types of vendors that might support the industry, different sources of capital and other kinds of things. So it's the knowledge spillovers that really matter as much as anything else. The labor pool, of course, is equally important. Now, industry clusters emerge in regional areas, sometimes by deliberate intent, let's say, of civic leaders and so on, but more often than not, the catalyst of an industry cluster in any specific region is generally kind of accidental. Something happens where a particular business, because of the natural amenities that might be available in that region. Natural, of course, includes not just the physical environment, but the environment that's been created, the roads and bridges and the infrastructure and all that kind of stuff, but also the banks and the capital sources that are available and also, of course, perhaps the labor pool that exists in that particular region. And you get sort of a regional emergence of an industry cluster. And we know some of the more famous ones in the world. Silicon Valley comes to mind, of course, every time that somebody talks about industry clusters. But they exist in medical, they exist in country western in terms of Branson, Missouri. And these are, phenomenal economic engines that are intergenerational. So a venture attractor is designed to sort of catalyze regional economic activity at the level of startups. And the Epic Venture Attractor in Colorado Springs is focused on sports, outdoors, health innovation, and human performance startups. Now, this is just something that is endemic to the Colorado Springs region. It is a natural cluster that can emerge here. And then the Venture Attractor is designed to attract people, resources, and ventures in that particular industry category. So it's different from the standard venture accelerator. Accelerators use the investing approach, and we call it spray and pray, and rightly so, because typically an accelerator will bring in 10 to 12 companies into a cohort, invest a small amount, $50,000 to $100,000, and take an equity stake, and then incubate these companies through a fairly rigorous program that they call a boot camp generally, that is usually about 90 days in extent. And then they hope that they're going to get some kind of follow-on investment and their stake that they've taken in these companies is going to rise in value. And that approach is kind of, it's winding down. It's certainly ubiquitous around the world now, but it's difficult to make return on investment. So the attractor concept, in contrast, is a 6-month program. We have a proprietary curriculum that we've created called the Scale to 1 Million Startup Program. Each company that gets accepted into the attractor goes through this 6-month intensive program and then gives us an opportunity to evaluate these companies during the 6 months that they're attempting to scale their ventures and build their ventures. One, for the commitment of the team, the potential of the products and services offered by the company, and its potential fit for any particular geographical region. And a venture attractor then allows regions of the world and corporations as well, to spend a little bit more time evaluating whether or not it makes sense to make an investment in any of the companies admitted into their particular venture attractor. So that's the basic concept of a venture attractor, is to be that catalyst, that conduit, or if you will, a portal into a particular region's industry cluster ecosystem. And it's working very well in the Colorado Springs region.